$1,000. Very selfless, Self the Younger, saying for everyone who wants to donate but can't. Thank you so much for that $1,000 donation to MSF. And then we have an anonymous $250 donation here that says, save the frames. I'm sure the animals will be fine. And as we get ready to collect some cat shines here, it is worth noting over on gamesdonequick.com, you can click on bids to see we have a tradition here, and it is now open for save or kill the animals. The animals are there waiting, hoping. It's up to you. Will their hopes be dashed? Are we saving them or are we not? You can always get your donations in and make sure to select either save or kill the animals. We've also got some incentives that still need to be met, including the blindfolded LBLJ showcase for Mario 64 coming up in a little bit. And then if we can raise $250,000, $250,000, we'll be seeing an any percent current patch run of the Demon's Souls remake. Now is the time. It is crunch time for Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online. Now is the time to be getting some of those donations in, including a $111 donation from Dissatisfied that said, Berto running Demon's Souls with Ashwin on commentary? Yes, please. Well, thank you very much, Dissatisfied, for that $111 donation. And Fur is ready for Bowser's Fury. Fur, you got this.
All right. So my name is Fur. I speedrun a lot of Mario games, and today I'm going to be speedrunning Bowser's Fury for you. With me, I have Dangers on commentary. Feel free to introduce yourself, Dangers.
What's going on, everybody? I'm having some deja vu. I feel like just a couple days ago, we were here on this stage, on this very stage, with the roles reversed.
I think we might have been. I think we might have been. But when you were doing your run, it was something about birds, and this run, I think it's a little bit more about cats. If you don't.
You know, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I've heard that this run is the cat's meow, as they say.
Oh my gosh. A little challenge for those of you in chat. This game has a lot of sort of like cat themed designs and various like objects. So like the shines, for example, are cat themed. That's an easy one. So I challenge you to donate $1 for every cat themed design you see throughout the run. So the shine, that could be your first dollar. And maybe you'll notice, hey, the trees are also designed to have like 2 little cat ears on the top, basically. So that could be the next. And if you keep going, maybe we can get some extra money donated to charity to meet some of those goals.
I don't know if there's enough money in the world for how many cat references there are in this game.
Don't tell them what they're getting themselves into, Dangerous. They might back out. All right, so time is going to start here on the full fade to black after I erase the selected file here. So it'll be coming up and go. All right. So this is Bowser's Fury. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that I'm going to be jumping a lot through the air at little angles. This is called vectoring, and it lets us go really, really fast as long as I don't run into anything. We're going to be doing this sort of stuff throughout the run. You may notice some similarities between this strat and some strats you'll see in other games. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. And I need to move on to another important thing right here in the beginning of the run, and that is Bowser Jr. So Bowser Jr. is sort of our companion for the run. He's helping us basically stop his dad from being angry. And he's going to give us a few options here on how we want him to help. And now, since it's a speedrun, you think we'd want him to help a lot, but we're actually going to set the option to none. And the reason for that is because when Junior's set to a lot, he'll sort of just go off and do things on his own, like collect coins and whatnot. But if we set him to none, we can do things like I did there, where I used my pointer to make him go to a cat shine, and he just follows like perfectly. If I had him set to one of the other options, he'd basically decide to like go off and do things on his own, and it makes doing these sorts of strats we're going to be doing all throughout the run a lot harder. So you can probably see I'm shaking a little bit here. I'm a bit nervous. But yeah, there's a ton of really cool Junior movement we do throughout the run. We're sort of like multitasking in a way by controlling 2 characters at the same time. It makes for a really cool mechanic, I think. Okay, so now there is one last thing I want to make sure I get out of the way right here in the very beginning of the run, and that is the Fury cycles. Bowser Fury is essentially what you could call a cycle-based speedrun. We have to go through 5 cycles and defeat Bowser 5 times at the end of each of these cycles. And you'd think because of this might just mean the run is some sort of glorified auto-scroller, but that actually isn't the case. There's some mechanics and things in those cycles that sort of like benefit us, so the run is not just an auto-scroller and has some interesting things going on. So the way I like to describe that, and I'm gonna have to ask you in chat, as well as you Dangers, to participate here for a moment, and just close your eyes for me, and I want you to imagine a bus, okay? Now, hopefully, if you open your eyes, that bus should have manifested itself on your screen, and we can use this bus to sort of explain how the cycles in Bowser's Fury work. So essentially, the bus is going to arrive at set intervals based on what Fury we're in, but there's actually a catch here. And you may have noticed the catch already, but Luigi, right up there, is the bus driver. So if you know a thing or two about Luigi like I do, you'd know that Luigi is actually a very reckless driver, and it's a miracle he even got a job at the bus company that employs him. So, oh heck, my controller's being a bit weird. So, what's going to happen here is Luigi knows how many shines Mario needs to fight Bowser and go to the next cycle. So when Mario is able to actually collect enough shines to go to the next cycle, Luigi's going to want to do what he can to help out, and since he's a reckless driver, he's going to make the incorrect decision to start speeding. So the way this ends up affecting the speedrun is Luigi, or... Sorry, it's really hard to multitask and do this. So the way this ends up affecting the speedrun is basically the faster we can get enough shines to fight Bowser, in those like shine increments per cycle are like 5, 15, 20, 40, and 50 respectively, the faster those cycles are actually going to progress. So the speedrun turns into this interesting thing where your goal is to get to the threshold shine requirement as fast as possible so you can save time. And then after that, your goal is to fit as many shines in the remainder of the cycle that you can so you can hit those later thresholds faster. Did that make sense, Dangers?
There's a bus on the screen, so that I think I get it.
You get the bus.
Yeah, and Luigi's in it. I recognize that. So
you recognize Luigi?
Uh-huh.
Do you? Yes.
I think is he going fast right now? That's the question.
He is going fast right now because we are over threshold in this cycle. And there's a few more things going on with the cycles that I'll try and explain in easier terms throughout the run. But for now, we need to get to the boss fight. So I mentioned we're going to be fighting Bowser 5 times throughout the run. This one is the first fight here. And basically, after grabbing that like giant cat bell, Mario is going to turn giant, and he's going to have a chance to fight giant Bowser here. And in this fight, we sort of just cat swipe at Bowser and use this lighthouse behind us to sort of keep us in place, which, by the way, that's a cat-themed item. So if you are playing the donation game, that's another $1. But yeah, oh, heck, I missed it. But yeah, we try and keep Bowser stunned there so we can get a really quick fight just by sort of stalling at the lighthouse and keeping him stunned and damaged. But messing up once there doesn't actually lose much time. It loses a second because you do more damage to Bowser when he does that shell attack. So it ended up working out still.
Important to note that these Fury cycles that he's talking about, they only really matter in between the fights. Like the fights themselves is kind of like a pause in that timer, and then once you come back into the game, it starts up again. And Fur, are you leaving the game? Hold on a second. Come back.
Yeah. So so what I'm doing here is I'm reloading the game, and the reason for that is it's a cycle thing. So it has to do with Luigi's bus, basically. So the game has 2 timers it likes to use for the Fury cycles, and this might get a bit confusing. I don't have a good analogy for it. And one's sort of like a primary timer, and the other is sort of like a secondary timer. The primary timer is the timer the game will default to after you defeat Bowser, and you know, are just progressing in the Furies normally. And the secondary timer is the timer the game will use any time you do a Fury in the before the same Bowser fight after that. And we can sort of trick the game to going to that second timer just by reloading it. Because when we reload the game, it'll go through the junior cutscene and be like, hey, what timer should we use? And it'll be like, oh, we've already used that first primary one, so let's use the secondary one. And that actually saves a ton of time. Because like on average, those those secondary timers are like 3 minutes faster. So if I forget to do that once throughout the run, I'm gonna lose a lot of time, but hopefully I won't. There's a fast strat I was trying to do there. Unfortunately, I messed it up, but there's a pretty fast backup anyways.
Yeah, so you basically just do that every cycle, right? As soon as the fight's over, you just kind of flip into your menu, reload the game, and then suddenly just 3 minutes disappears.
Yeah, so we do it in the second, third, and fourth cycles because the fifth cycle and the first cycle sort of has some weird things going on where they're a bit different. But yeah, we do it 3 times throughout the run, and it saves a lot of time. If any of you guys were around this speedrun when it first came out, we didn't know about that. So what would end up happening is world record, because the cycles are so long, would just be waiting for like a minute at the end of the run for the last cycle to trigger. And yeah, that doesn't make for a good speedrun. But once we found out the cycle like manip by reloading the game, it turned from being this like, it turned from being like, oh, we're waiting to, oh, now we have to actually catch up to these cycles and try and, you know, figure out ways to route the game to save as much time as possible and, you know, finish all these cycles as fast as possible. It honestly makes for a super interesting, like, sort of speedrun dilemma, I guess. I actually made a whole video on this a few months ago, so if you're interested in more about just like how the cycles in this game work, I do have a video on my YouTube channel called The Problem with Bowser's Fury Speedrunning. So if this all sounds interesting, you should check it out. I use the same dumb bus analogy in that video.
Yeah, I mean, whenever a new game comes out, especially, okay, so Mario games, when they come out, you know, there's obviously a lot of people who are really interested in trying to figure out how this game works. And when Bowser's Fury first came about, it was very easy to kind of write it off because of these cycles, because of how much waiting there was going on. It's like we can only really go so fast.
Yeah.
So, you know, seeing speedrunners be able to kind of work around the game really did scratch that itch. Now, I think it's important to mention, you're currently playing the no amiibo category. So what's the difference between the no amiibo category and the amiibo category?
So here, let me take the bus off for a second. So playing the amiibo category, it sort of trivializes the cycles. So if we're going to go back to that same bus analogy, just give me a second here. I don't want to screw up this fight. It's really irritating. I have to like manage Junior and Bowser at the same time. So if we go back to that same bus analogy, it's sort of like if Mario bought a really nice car in the same way that you as the runner have to buy an amiibo. So the way amiibo works is you can literally like trigger the Fury whenever you want. So that's sort of like being able to just drive wherever you want, whenever you want with a car. So that ends up affecting the speedrun by it removing the entire cycle dilemma we were talking about earlier and just turning it into your like standard Mario speedrun where your goal is to collect the required amount of collectibles to actually beat the run. There's some other interesting things that go on in Amiibo too, but since we're not doing an Amiibo run, I don't really want to get into that. But yeah, it's an interesting run, and if you should consider checking that out as well.
Yeah, basically, I think the Amiibo run kind of came about as a result of people being scared that it was going to be a fixed speed run at some point. But it's actually quite a bit more complicated than that. And the Amiibo category does two things. Not only are you able to completely null and void the whole cycle thing, but just the way that Bowser fights happen, you basically are initiating a Fury every single time you collect Shine, which does more damage to him, which means you have to fight him less. So that speedrun is about 10 minutes faster at world record level.
It's pretty crazy how big of a difference is. Also, heck, I needed the game audio there. Right there, we're doing a cool trick called Ice Hyperspeed. You can basically go really fast in this game if you mash or crouch really quickly on ice.
Yeah, this is a a remnant from 3D World. So if you played Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, this is Bowser's Fury is packaged with the remake on the Switch, and it's something that they did not patch out. So it is something that you can continue to do in 3D World, as well as Bowser's Fury, which is very cool.
So right now I'm mostly playing with no game audio, but I have sound cues for when all the cycles start. And it's pretty important that I know when they do start, because if I grab a shine after the Fury starts, Bowser is actually going to run away. And for the speed run, that is really bad because it pretty much locks us out of progressing in the game for like an entire extra cycle, which is, again, very bad. We can collect shines during it still, but it's a huge time loss, and we really don't want that to happen. So just needed to make sure I could listen in for a moment there. Also, sorry, that Bowser fight goes really fast, and we didn't really have time to explain it. There's some neat things going on in a lot of the Bowser fights, but really it's just like abusing what the game gives us and doing a lot of damage really quickly.
Yeah, coming up with strategies using the location that you're fighting from, and like Bowser will sometimes throw things that you can interact with and stuff like that. Using them to your advantage and getting it done really fast.
Yeah. During this fight, I'm just going to be like grabbing some shards with Junior because he can warp through walls if he gets stuck, which is super useful. But other than that, there's not really much else going on here, so we can probably get like a donation or something in.
Absolutely. Well, this seems like a good place to start. We have a $100 donation from Dangers that says, "Greetings from the commentary booth. I'm extremely proud of Fur for getting to show off Bowser's Fury and happy to support a good cause. Good luck on the run, save the animals, and have an amazing remainder of GDQ."
Heck yeah.
That's right.
We have time for one more, probably.
All right, we have a $50 donation from You Are Enough that says, "Fantastic to see our favorite Fur End running Bowser's Fury on SGDQ with Dangers on commentary. Best of luck to you, Fur. Make Catboy Mario go fast. Donation goes to the runner's choice."
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Fur, do you save or kill the animals?
You know, I think I'm a save the animals kind of guy.
That's right. That's what I like to hear.
So you've probably noticed we haven't had a chance to mention this yet. Throughout the run, Plessy, we do some interesting things with their movement. So the way I've been moving through the water with Plessy is not normal, but we're sort of abusing a game mechanic in the game where if you dive in the water and jump right as you surface, you gain a speed boost. Well, what we can do is dive in the water, jump, and then immediately dive in the water after that. And if we chain those together, we go really, really fast. So basically, whenever we're in the water as Plessy, we're going to be doing that. Like the few exceptions are where if we'll bump our head underwater, like right now, if I were to try and do it.
Yeah, because obviously if you go underwater right as you're about to hit some land, then you know, something's going to happen. But I think it's kind of neat. You know, Mario games, I love speedrunning Mario games because the movement is so fluid and there's just so many options available to you. It's one of those, it's a series that lends itself so well to speedrunning because it can be really easy to learn. Just about anybody can beat a Mario game if they put their minds to it. But like to get as good as you see these people showcasing Mario games at marathons and stuff like that, it's a very difficult thing to do because there's just so much to it. You've seen Fur, you know, understanding mechanically how Plessy works, for example, and also little things that you might not have noticed, like the fact that he's jumping in diagonals. All that little bit matters over the course of the run. He also uses Bowser Jr.'s head sometimes as basically just like a platform, and he can gain some more height. We're going to see a lot of that later on as well as we get propeller suits involved.
Yeah, the propeller suit is like an additional power-up you can get on top of your standard power-up. So like we use the cat suit for the entire run just because it's like busted. But the propeller suit is something we can have on top of that. And it's honestly even more broken in its own ways. So the game has like extra precautions to try and make sure you can't take it to areas you're not supposed to have it when you're not supposed to have it there. But we can sort of get around that using some wacky speedrun moves.
Yeah, spoiler alert, speedrunner breaks the game.
Who would have thought,
for the first
man?
time ever at GDQ. Unbelievable. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but me as an avid bird admirer, would just like to point out that the seagulls are also cats. So if you are donating money, if you're donating money for the things that are cat related, there you go. There's another one.
The shards right there, cat related. That's another.
Fur, we could go and try and individually point at every single one of these, but I think we would extend the marathon several hours. So
maybe. Also, it's more fun when they have to do it on their own.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm doing the same thing here, just so, because I'm not listening to game audio when I'm playing right now, but I still need to know when Fury's starting. We're going to be doing a really cool trick here with Junior that I'm probably going to be too shaky to actually do. Yeah. But if we warp Junior into this rabbit, we can actually get it. So I have one more chance here, just barely enough time. No, I didn't get it. We can warp Junior into that rabbit. And what that'll do is make it so, like, we'll get the shine from it, which is really useful. But on top of that, one of the mechanics in this game is like how the islands progress where you collect shines, and they'll only go from like one objective to the next if you go to another island or collect a shine.
Right.
So if we collected that shine there with Junior, the island would have progressed to its next state, and we would have really quickly been able to get the next shine there, which would have been pretty cool. But unfortunately, we missed it.
That mechanic is really cool and pretty subtle, but it's a way of keeping an open world Mario game and like keeping it dynamic and updating without, you know, needing loading zones and stuff like that, basically, which is really cool. And it's already happened a couple times in this run. It's probably just been a little bit too subtle to notice, but there are a couple islands that are really closely clustered together, and Fur will sometimes just step onto an island for the sake of resetting an island that he wants to get a shine from again.
Yeah, we do sorts of that, like little things like that a lot, just with the routing, because it's sort of what we have to do. Also, unfortunately, because I missed that strat there, we're down a few shines than what we want to be at right now at this point in the run. Like, something I knew going into the run was that we're probably going to make some mistakes because it's a marathon and this run's really hard, and I'm probably not going to be able to get all the cycles I want, but that's okay. So the route I'm going to be doing here is still the like standard Fury 4 route, but you may have noticed, like right there in the beginning, I was looking off in the distance, and that actually has a reason behind it, because there's a floating island over there, not that one, the one further in the background, and that floating island only like moves on its cycle whenever it's being observed. So yeah, more cycles in Bowser's Fury. Who would have guessed? I should get back the bus. But yeah, so if I do the manipulate, we'll be able to get a really fast shine near the end of the Fury. And then once we're in Fury 5, that's sort of like the weird Fury. We're just gonna do some cleanup there and get some like backup shines, depending on how well I can do this route. But what were you saying?
Go ahead.
No, I wasn't really going to say much.
Okay, fair. I was going to say that the floating island cycle that we were just talking about here, where he's trying to keep the floating island on camera, is actually a surprisingly common mechanic when it comes to 3D games. 3D games are going to be trying to optimize their performance as best as they can. So if they can sneakily make it so that things disappear when they're not on the screen, it's going to be able to save the game's performance pretty dramatically. So basically any 3D Mario game you can think of follows that fundamental rule.
It's propeller time. Oh heck, I need to redo that. That was not good. Yeah, now this is the part of the run where we've abused the propeller and take it really where you would not expect us to take it. So this is probably one of my favorite bits of movement in the run. So if I mess it up, I'm gonna cry. But basically, we can really just abuse how Junior works in this game and abuse the ice hyperspeed to get all the way over to basically the other side of the map. And now we have the propeller hat over here, and we're not supposed to have this over here yet. So I really need to make sure I do not lose this, because if I do, that'll be very bad, and I'll have to do an even weirder improv route. Yeah, hopefully I don't lose it. And we're actually going to be using it here in a moment to get to that other floating island we saw. So the strat I'm going to do here, it's kind of cool to explain. So I'm going to be looking at the first like floating island that moves on a cycle to make sure that cycle keeps... I need to redo that. I lost my speed. So I'm going to be looking over in that direction so the cycle keeps going. But in the meantime, I'm going to be using Junior to bounce me through the air so I can move to this other floating island over here. So normally you'd only be able to reach this by having Bowser during a Fury cycle break a Fury block and then like going through a pipe that launches you up here. But that's really slow, so we don't want to use that. And we just sort of abuse the propeller hat to do it. Super cool. So coming up, we just, yeah, really cool. So coming up, we just sort of have like some repeats of some of the like types of shines we've already seen. So we probably have some more time for a few donations, couple donations.
A lot of folks donating from your community, Fur. There's a $50 donation here from Nurse Allison Rose that says, good luck to Fur on collecting all the shines, or moons, or stars. Same difference, right? Very happy for you, and I'm proud to call myself a Fur moderator. Donation to Fur's Choice.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Also, $50 from Blue Ghost. Thank you very much, Blue Ghost. Saying, hi, Fur. We found your stream during a GDQ, and now we are happy to see you again on the main stage. Good luck on the run.
Thank you. One more, probably.
All right, I got a good one for you. $2,000 from Furbolg saying, be excellent to one another. And thank you very much, Furbolg, for being excellent to Doctors Without Borders.
Thank you so much. So right here, again, we're just going to be abusing the propeller hats. So we can get right to the end of the shine in the Mount Magmeow area. And this is one of the only bits of RNG in the run. What pipe the Prince Cat Bully is going to come out of is completely random as far as I'm aware. And like that pipe it just came out of is the fastest, where the bottom right pipe is very much the slowest. So fortunately, we got some pretty decent RNG there.
Pretty good, yeah. Not too bad.
All right. So this next part is just more of us abusing the propeller hat. So normally you have to go through and use all of these like moving platforms to climb up this mountain. But we're not going to do that because that's slow. What we're going to do is we're going to use Junior, collect 4 of the 5 cat shards we need using him, and just sort of abuse the propeller hat to climb up the mountain very, very quickly.
Yeah, because, again, we're not supposed to have the propeller cap here at all. We have brought it from a completely separate part of the map, and yeah, Fur's not supposed to have it. So
there we go.
The fact that we have it allows us to traverse this mountain very easily. You can see that otherwise you'd have to use these like seesaw platforms to basically very slowly maneuver the mountain with regular platforming techniques.
So there we just abused Junior's warp again, so we can trick the island into going to its next phase and get the atop Mount Magmeow shine while we're already up here. So unfortunately, I was a bit finicky with my like movement and cycles here, so I actually did not make the floating island cycle. But that's okay. The run should still be fine. Oh, it's not too much to worry about. Like there's tons of backups. Like one of the main things I was practicing throughout like my GDQ prep was just sort of like, okay, what sorts of backups can we get? Unfortunately, right now, I'm doing a weird sort of route that I have not done in any of my practice because I've made some very specific mistakes here, but I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's
kind of I mean, we will be okay.
The very unique and tricky thing about this game compared to other Mario games is, you know, if you're playing Super Mario 64 and your objective is to collect 70 stars, you can collect whatever 70 stars you want and be just fine. But with this game, because the game itself has a timer that you're running against, and you can't really be flexible with that timer at all. If you have any cleanup that you need to do, you either need to squeeze it into one of your cycles somehow, or you need to basically come up with an improv at the end, which means that there isn't a whole lot of flexibility when it comes to, like, you know, say world record grinding stuff. Like if you've picked a route and you're trying to go for personal bests, you kind of have to stick with that route. If something goes wrong, then your run will essentially be over.
It makes running the game at a very high level incredibly difficult.
Yes.
Because you'll have to go for these very like hard routes. Like for some quick context, the route I did in the very first cycle only got 9 shines. World record gets 10, but the fastest known possible can get 11, which is absolutely insane. I don't even know how people do that, to be honest. Okay, so right here, we're in a really weird situation with my shine count. So I'm gonna have to do some improv that I've actually never done before, but I think I have an idea. An important thing to note is once we hit 47 shines, the game's going to enter a permanent fury because the game does that when you have 47 or more shines and are in Fury 5, which we meet both of those conditions. So once we reach that, we'll meet both of those conditions once we reach 47 shines. So it's just something we need to be aware of. And it gives a good opportunity to get like Fury shine blocks like this. Because all we need to do to get these shines is just have Bowser break the box and there'll be a shine in it. So normally those are pretty slow, but with like sort of the impromptu stuff I've had to do this run, that one right there became a bit worth it.
And for the record, this is any percent. So just arriving at the credits, the minimum amount of moons, or I do it too.
Everyone does it if you speedrun multi-Marios.
The minimum amount of cat shines that you need to complete the game is 50. So 47 is kind of that moment right before the end of the main storyline of the game where it's like, oh, Bowser is perpetually angry. So in order to kind of save the day and beat the game, like we're gonna raise the stakes a little bit.
And casually, it's pretty terrifying, but since we know what we need to do, there's nothing to worry about. So normally we would not get that shine because it's a little slow. It used to be in some of the older routes, but not in any of the like super modern ones. But just sort of what we have to do to make the mistakes I made work with the route I'm doing. So this shine right here is going to be the 47th shine. We're going to enter a permanent Fury state, like I said earlier, and we're going to use that permanent Fury state to grab 3 cat shines right in this starter area where we were before. These aren't in, I think, world record route, but they were in the route for a while because they're pretty quick. So they're probably the best 3 like backups I can get right now.
Yeah, and these are the islands that we started on, so they're all quite clustered together, and it makes it easy to kind of just hop between them. And these Fury cycles, the reason that we can't collect shines when we're in the Fury cycles usually is because they will kind of activate these lighthouses to inflict damage upon Bowser. And then he'll be kind of scared and run away. So that's why like doing the fights when they're first activated is really important for the speed run. But again, we are at the end of the game, so he's just perpetually angry until we get to the end now.
I was trying to be cheeky there because Bowser jumped somewhere where I didn't want him to. It's not random, believe it or not. It is manipulatable. I just didn't have perfect movement there when going from the first Fury block to the second.
Only one more shine.
Yeah. So going into the final Bowser fight, we're going to have our sort of like standard fight against Bowser. So please don't jump. So we're going to have our standard fight against Bowser where we like cat swipe him and throw stuff at him. But then after that, we're going to have another extra fight. Because, you know, sometimes on the final fight in Mario games, they like to throw in something cool after. Like, I know they do the escape sequence in Odyssey, and I think Galaxy does some cool stuff too, Dangerous, right?
Galaxy just has like a several tiered Bowser fight, essentially. A lot of the new Super Mario Brothers games have kind of taken that approach, though, where whether they throw a new phase of Bowser at you or like a little bit extra level after you beat him the first time, or like new, you know, Super Mario 3D World, for example, throws an entire other world at you when you think you're done. So yeah, you know, Mario games are pretty they're not a stranger to the idea of like, psych, you're not actually done.
Psych.
So.
All right, so there actually is a quick kill in this fight. The way it would normally go is
timer is going to be coming up real fast, by the way.
Yeah, I'll try and point it out. But the way this would like normally work is you're supposed to like chase Bowser down on these sort of little ramps, and like every fourth bigger ramp, you're like that one right there, we're able to hit him. So we sort of just basically go straight to that ramp, and at that ramp we're going to hit the orb. Yes, I said it, in a very specific way. So I can hopefully get a follow-up hit, because the hitbox on this actually is always there. So I can just sort of hit it here, and then I can hit it again. And then time is going to come up when I hit it the fourth time on this platform right here. And time. There we go. That was Bowser's Fury any percent. I am taking this off now. Oh.
Can we get a round of applause in the chat, please? What a great run.
Yeah, what a great run. Again, Bowser's Fury, I think there's still a piece of tape on me. I don't know if that gag was worth it, but Bowser's Fury, a really, really cool speedrun. It's like not your typical Mario speedrun where, you know, you just try and collect your collectible as fast as possible because you have all this weird cycle stuff going on. It's super interesting, super fun. So if it's something you think you'd be interested in speedrunning, I would heavily recommend giving it a try. There's a Discord server for it. You can find that on the speedrun.com page. There should be a link to it. It's for both 3D World and Bowser's Fury, both incredible speedruns. And if you're interested in my stream, I stream speedruns, specifically Mario speedruns a lot on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/fur_. So if you enjoyed this, giving me a follow over there would be really appreciated. Same with my comment.
I was going to say Fur is very good at Mario games, so go follow him.
Thank you. And I was going to say they should go follow you right now as well, because you're also really good at Mario games.
Who, me? I mean, I guess I played a Mario game once or twice. So
yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna plug this one more time. I know I already plugged it earlier in the run, but I do have a video that goes into all the cycle shenanigans on my YouTube channel. So if you think that's cool, I would recommend giving it a look. Again, the video is called "The Problem with Bowser's Fury Speedrunning," and it sort of goes into those challenges people faced when it came to routing this game initially.
Yeah, honestly, but, you know, Fur doing a run right now. And trying to explain it while he's also playing the game. So, you know, we only really scratched the surface, so to speak. The video goes into much better in-depth if you're really interested in, like, how people have broken this game down.
Yeah, and there's even, like, things that go beyond what I'm able to mention in that video, because there's just, like, so much going on in this game. It's honestly crazy. And, yeah, that's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for having me, and just remember to thank your bus driver.
Thank you so much, Fur, for that amazing run. Nice to see Mario going that fast with minimal shedding. We are getting set up for the next run here at Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online. And we have got, if you need a little bit of a hype refresh, chat, if you need picked up a little bit, how about a $25,000 donation from the Yeti saying, hey all, Yeti here, Cat Shine Git. Great news from over here. This $25,000 donation brings our event total to $101,000 raised from official GDQ merch orders. If you haven't picked up your shirts or swag yet, be sure to do so before Sunday at midnight Central Standard Time. Profits from all items in the collection will be directly donated to Doctors Without Borders in support of their amazing work. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Yeti, thank you so much for the $25,000 donation to Doctors Without Borders. And we also have some amazing love coming in for Fur, a $5 donation from Chibi Shala that said, had to donate for the bus and for Fur managing to continue playing with it on his head. Good luck with the run. And that was a remarkable run indeed. You're going to want to hang out here because we are getting ready for Mario Kart 64, which is another remarkable run. Maybe take a second, refill your water, get a stretch break in, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, everyone, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online, powered by Twitch. Now, Fur did issue a challenge during that run. How many different cat-related things did you find? Gibson contributed $45 to MSF, saying, I saw 45 different types of cat-related things. How many did the rest of you see? And Zodiosopos contributed $25, said a few cat-themed things for furious donations: cat-shaped arches, cat-shaped arrow signs, the cats themselves, cat-shaped lighthouses, cat-shaped spikies, cat boom boom, cat-shaped mountain island, cat shards, mama cat, and Mario's cat suit. Keep up the speed, Fur. Meow. And with that, we are also going to have a word from NIS America with Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny. Join Zed in his quest to rise above his lowly status and challenge a god of destruction. Along the way, meet zany characters, explore chaotic new worlds, and discover the power of sibling bonds and determination. Available now. You can learn more at disgaea.us/D6. There's a $50 donation here from Nick and Emily that says, or Nick and Emil, that says this donation is for Fur, who has entertained us both over so many evenings. So excited to see you at GDQ. Good luck to the most wholesome and humble speedrunner we know. And with that, we've got a word from one of the most wholesome and humble prize beings that we know of to tell us some amazing things we can win. It's time to hear from Sent.
Hey, buddy, you looking for something? You need something? You need some, yeah, you need some, prizes? Prizes? I got you. Come on over here. Let me show you something. You see this baby right here? You're thinking, this is probably nothing, but let me tell you. This baby can hold a ton of prizes. Let's take a look at some of them. I know what you want. You probably are someone who really likes perlers. Well, let me tell you, what about this 3D perler from Yoshio-kun? Only a $5 minimum donation until the start of Dark Souls 6. I'm just telling you, $5 minimum donation for this beautiful 3D perler. What more could you want for it? No, don't go away. Don't go away. I understand. You want some form with your function. I respect that. How about these beautiful perler coasters from Doikum? You get the full set for $15 minimum donation, and let me tell you about the benefits of them. You get a question mark block. You get a power star. You get a fire flower. You get the mushroom. You get Mario. Everyone loves Mario. And of course, you get green Mario. It's like Mario, but even better because it's green. I love it. Yeah, I see you walking closer. Come on. We got some great stuff in here. I'm telling you. You like Pokemon? I got some Pokemon for you. I got Articuno. We got Zapdos. And of course, we got Moltres. That's all 3 legendary birds. That's 3 more legendary birds than you currently have. $15 minimum donation from Sam Ingstrom. I'm telling you, oh no, I see you walking away. Okay, I get it. You're not a Pokemon kind of person. I feel that. I respect that. Maybe you're more into something like, maybe something like a Dark Souls here. Don't worry, I got Dark Souls for you too. How about this 3D stand-E sent to us by Sclair Studios? $15 minimum donation. Looks absolutely great. You can just quickly assemble it by slapping them in these slots here. Look at that. You got the bonfire at Lordaeron right there. And you know what? If you need to get out of somewhere, maybe you're hawking prizes out the back of a car, you just do this. It's already disassembled. Absolutely beautiful. $15 minimum donation. I see. You're someone who likes function. Let me tell you about some function. How about this beautiful Rainbow Road scarf right there? It's absolutely adorable. Annie Just 3 sends it to us. Come on. It's incredible. $25 minimum donation. You can see the checkered flags at either end of it. And you know what? Right here, this is the secret. The banana peel pin. Anyone trying to mess with you, you give them the banana peel. It's gonna work out. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I got some good stuff. All right. You know what? I don't bring it out for everyone. But I'm gonna bring it out for you because it's really important here. It's something a little bit special. We got this Bomb Battlefield painting. Like, come on, Nerd Pop Prince sends it out to us. $50 minimum donation from now until the end of the marathon. You can get in on this beautiful painting. It's got a lovely spray-painted gold frame. It's an incredible oil-on canvas painting of the Bomb Battlefield. You want to dive right into it. How can you not absolutely love this? $50, I'm telling you. Thank you so much to Nerd Pop Prince for making it happen. Hold on. What's that? Be quiet, buddy. Be quiet. Oh, cheese it. It's the fuzz.
Thank you, Sent, for that incredible description of the prizes. We have got some donations coming in as well as we get ready for the Mario Kart 64 run. Mr. Horrible contributes $100 to Doctors Without Borders, saying, so I honestly lost count, but I'm pretty sure there were at least this many cats and that all of them really want to see that Demon Souls run. I would say absolutely. And if they want to see that Demon Souls run, they're either going to have to donate or get some people to donate on their behalf because we've still got a ways to go for that Demon Souls run.